Well, they're in trouble themselves because they still have home court advantage. They can protect their home court. But I think that Toronto's exposing a few things about them, and it's bringing into question who's going to step up with LeBron to produce. And a legitimate argument could be made that while I started off the show getting on them that you can't be the superstar and attempting just one shot in the last 5 minutes, a legitimate argument could have been you attribute that to fatigue. Another legitimate argument could be made that you're looking for somebody else to step up because you're trying to find out who's going to be ready to run with you, because you still got 2 home games as a worst-case scenario in all of this. I'm just of the mindset that, again, Kevin Love getting benched in the fourth quarter is a bad sign. Channing Frye can make open shots. The problem is when he's out on the court and you know that he's there in replacing Kevin Love, he doesn't get open shots. He has to shoot contested shots, and it's a bit more difficult for him to make as the game wanes. Kyrie Irving scores, but it's usually at the expense of the team because he's dribbling the ball too much and not making the right pass and moving the basketball when he does score. And J.R. Smith is a model of inconsistency. I'll say exactly what I said about J.R. Smith after last year's NBA Finals. J.R. Smith and I go back a long ways. I've known him for years. I know I'm covering him with the New York Knicks. He is a guy that is absolutely electric when he's making his jump shot. Absolutely non-existent when he isn't. It makes no sense whatsoever because he can go to the free throw line and make free throws. I do not understand why he does not put the ball on the floor and try to go to the basket and get fouled. But he never does. When he's missing his jump shot, he disappears. And so these are LeBron James' teammates. And as a result of that, and then you've got Tristan Thompson, who's as nice as can be and a workman-like guy who just got a huge $80+ million contract. And V5MAC Biyombo is outplaying you, 40 to 17 rebounding advantage, 7 blocks to 2 blocks. Really? Really? And so you look at it from that perspective, and I would say Cleveland's in trouble because even if you do win, you've allowed the Toronto Raptors to expose deficiencies in your game that the teams out west, either one of them, are more than equipped to handle. And last but not least, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip Bayless is Klay Thompson or Steph Curry. Or it's Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. You can't neutralize DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, but you're going to go up against these brothers? Really? Really? That's what you're going to do? These guys? Now, no disrespect, because Lowry and DeRozan are all-stars, but they ain't those dudes. I mean, they both scored plus 30, and Cleveland couldn't stop them. If you're Steph Curry or Russell Westbrook or Klay Thompson or Kevin Durant, could you imagine how much you're salivating at the opportunity to go watching what we saw? Oh, my goodness, they'd be like, please let us get out of this Western Conference Finals. We got them. We got them. Look, they going to stop us. That's how you're thinking. It's a problem.
Okay.
It's a problem.
What happened last night? Ty Lue and Cleveland fell in love with the 3. They had lived and they had died by the 3, and they were going to live by it again. So who did he play down the stretch? He played your man, JR. He played Channing Frye. Can they defend either one of them? No, they cannot defend. So all of a sudden, it was a mismatch to me on the other end where Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan suddenly were emboldened and empowered to get in the lane anytime they wanted to and make shots they shouldn't have been able to make and wouldn't make against a Golden State or an Oklahoma City. So all of a sudden, now back to Molly's question, are they in trouble? I don't think Toronto's game travels. That's just me because I don't think Biyombo traveled to the first 2 games. I don't even remember him playing in the first 2 games. So my point is, I think Cleveland will win easily at home in Game 5. I can't argue against Toronto winning a Game 6 in Toronto. Those fans are hyped too. You've been up there. I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me at all at this point if the series went 7 games.
We're going 7 games. And then, as we all know, anything can happen, especially if LeBron gets mentally and physically fatigued by Game 7.
That won't happen for Game 7. If LeBron is in a Game 7 in Cleveland, he's not losing that game.
Well,
that's not happening.
But
not to Toronto.
At what point does Dwayne Casey emerge as the best coach in the playoffs as he continues to figure out defensively what will work against LeBron and company? Because, listen, have you ever seen a team more embarrassed and humiliated than Toronto was in those first 2 games at Cleveland? I was embarrassed for them. It was a blight on the NBA playoffs. We were all over them. You
called their defense. You said mannequins.
Mannequins, but they were mannequins. Well, I don't have the paint numbers.
No. I thought it was a very astute observation.
That was a good line.
But LeBron's the average length of shot was, what was it, 1.6 feet? You know, it's like he was just dunking.
All 17 of his shots in the first 2 games came from inside.
Okay.
Now you can't get on the inside.
Can't get on the inside. Okay, so will that travel back to Cleveland? I don't know. Would it travel back for Game 7?
Game 5 is pivotal because if you are Toronto, not only do you have momentum, you're playing with house money because the expectation is you'll lose Game 5. You know you've insured a Game 6 back in Toronto.
Yep.
And the mentality is that the pressure is on them because Cleveland doesn't want to come back to Toronto.
I agree.
Down 3-2. So Game 5 is going to be very interesting Wednesday night.
So I thought Valanciunas would at least give him another big body last night, and he didn't get off the bench. So I think they were sort of playing with the idea of, oh, you better be careful because Valanciunas is going to come back. Will he come back for Game 5 and give him some minutes?
Why bother?
Because,
why not bring him back for Game 6?
Well, you could because, again, this happened in Toronto. It looked like Biyombo was emerging as a star, right? As a shot blocker.
Well, listen.
Rebounder.
He's manning the interior and completely dominating the interior. And he's getting key offensive rebounds. He's blocking key shots. He's even going out and defended on the perimeter, which is something Valanciunas cannot do. A matter of fact, Valanciunas really might hurt them defensively because the LeBron and them don't appear to be a threat. Remember, LeBron was the one that was a threat in the interior. It wasn't like Tristan Thompson or Kevin Love was scoring on the outside. So if you have Valanciunas in there, he can score on the perimeter, but he's not going to come out on the wing and defend because he's not as quick a foot and he doesn't have those defensive capabilities. Biyombo does.
Yep, he does.
And that makes things interesting.
Final question. Will Kevin Love continue to play like that little kid that he plays in the insurance commercial, you know, with the big head and the little body?
I love Nuggets.
But is he going to play like that little kid?
I love Nuggets. I just told him the other day, I do like the commercial with him when he's talking about that, when he's dancing or when he's talking about how he loves Nuggets. The only part I hate about that commercial is that DeAndre Jordan coming down with that damn dress on. That bothers me. It's just me. It's just me, DeAndre. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the goatee. I don't know.
Yeah, dropping dimes.
Dropping dimes.
Throws you off a little. The costume choice there. We got it. All right. When we come back, Tom Brady will be heading back to court as the Deflategate saga continues. Does his legal team have the edge now? We debate it.